back to Chat English, where we teach you the English you actually use every day. Today, we are going to fix the absolute worst, most panicky feeling in the English language. It is 8 o'clock at night, you are sitting on the couch, and you just sent a WhatsApp message to a new native speaker friend. You look at the screen 2 minutes later and realize you used the wrong word, your message sounds incredibly rude, your face gets hot, and you want to throw your phone in the river.
I did exactly this yesterday when I sent a message to my boss, saw the mistake, and I felt so small I wanted to mute the chat forever.
Do not mute the chat, because today we are going to give you 3 exact copy-paste phrases to fix an embarrassing texting mistake and actually make the person respect you more.
I really need this, Jessica, because when I made that mistake yesterday, my heart actually started beating faster. It is such a horrible physical feeling. You stare at the screen and you see those 2 little blue check marks appear. You know they read it, you know they saw the mistake, and your brain just freezes.
Oh, Dave, I understand that feeling. I think everyone listening understands that feeling. We all have days where we hit send and immediately want to pull the message back through the screen. It is what I call the text regret sweat. You feel like you just closed the door on a relationship or a friendship before it even started.
Exactly, the text regret sweat. That is the perfect name for it. Because in my native language, I am polite, I am friendly, I know exactly how to sound respectful. But in English, sometimes I choose a word from a dictionary and I put it in a message, and it sounds like a command from a military general. Yesterday, I wanted to tell my boss that I would send a report soon, but I used the wrong word, and the message basically said, "Wait for my report right now." It sounded so aggressive.
That is so stressful. But Dave, I want to tell you a secret right now. Native speakers send broken, weird, and confusing texts all the time. We make mistakes constantly. We use the wrong words, we forget punctuation, and we send messages that make absolutely no sense.
Really? Because when I read messages from native speakers, they always seem so natural. They flow so well.
They flow well because native speakers know how to recover from mistakes, not because they do not make mistakes. They know how to fix a bad text smoothly, and that is exactly what we're going to learn today. Let us start with a little test for everyone listening. We are going to do an ABC quiz.
Oh, I love the quizzes. I am ready.
Okay, so you just sent a message that sounds a little bit rude by accident. What is the best way to fix it? Option A, write a 3-paragraph apology explaining that English is your second language and begging for forgiveness. Option B, ignore it, close the app, and just hope they don't notice the mistake. Or option C, use a short, casual recovery phrase.
Well, looking at it now, I know the answer is probably C, but I have to be honest, Jessica. My brain always tells me to do option A. Whenever I make a mistake, I want to type a huge paragraph. I want to say, "I am so sorry, my English is very bad, I'm still learning, please do not be angry with me." It feels like I need to explain myself so they don't hate me.
I completely understand why you want to do that, but let's think about how option A feels for the other person. If you send a giant emotional apology for a small vocabulary mistake, you're suddenly making the conversation very heavy. You're asking the other person to stop what they are doing and comfort you. They have to reply and say, "Oh no, don't worry, your English is great, it's fine." It ruins the casual vibe of a chat.
Wow, I never thought about it like that. I'm making them do emotional work just to make me feel better about my grammar. That actually makes it awkward.
Exactly. You're turning a tiny bump in the road into a massive car crash. And what about option B, just ignoring it?
I have done that too, the ghosting method. I send the bad message, I panic, I throw my phone on the sofa, and I go to the kitchen and pretend my phone doesn't exist. I just hope they knew what I meant.
The problem with option B is that it leaves the other person confused. If your message accidentally sounded rude and you just disappear, they might actually think you're angry with them. You're breaking the connection. So option C is our winner. We use a short, casual recovery phrase.
Okay, so we use a recovery phrase, but how do we change our mindset? Because even if I have the right phrase, my hands are still shaking when I type it. I feel like I ruined the masterpiece.
I love that you use the word masterpiece because that's the exact problem with our mindset. Think about art, Dave. If you're painting a giant, beautiful oil painting for a museum and you spill black paint right in the middle of it, that's a disaster. You ruined the painting. It takes months to fix.
Right. That is how my English feels, like I spilled black paint on my perfect grammar painting.
But a text message is not an oil painting in a museum. A text message is a quick pencil sketch on a small sticky note. It is just a fast drawing to show someone an idea. If you make a mistake on a pencil sketch, you do not cry. You do not write an apology letter to the sticky note. You just take your eraser, wipe away the mistake, draw a new line, and keep going.
Wow, I love that. A chop bubble is a sketch, not a painting. That makes me feel so much lighter. Because it is true, chots are fast, they disappear up the screen. We send hundreds of them a day. They're not permanent masterpieces, they're just quick sketches of our thoughts.
Exactly. If you mess up a sketch, you just redraw the line. You are not ruining a masterpiece. You are just sketching ideas. And today, I am going to give you three different erasers, three phrases you can use to redraw the line when you make a mistake. Are you ready for the first one?
I am very ready. Give me the first eraser.
The first phrase is perfect for casual chats with friends. When you send a message and realize you used the wrong word, you just send a second message right after it that says, "Oops, typo. I meant to say," and then you write the correct word.
Oops, typo. I meant to say. Wait, Jessica, let me stop you there. What exactly is a typo? I've seen that word before, but I always thought it was some kind of complicated internet slang.
That is a great question. Typo is a very common everyday word. It's short for typographical error, but nobody says typographical error anymore. That sounds like a robot from the 1950s. We just say typo. A typo is when your finger hits the wrong button on the keyboard or your brain chooses the wrong word for a second. It is not a failure of your intelligence, it's just a clumsy mistake.
I see. So when I say oops, typo, I'm basically saying my finger made a mistake, not my heart. It makes the mistake feel so small and silly.
Exactly. It removes all the shame. And then you follow it with, "I meant to say." Notice the grammar there, Dave. We do not say, "I mean to say." We say, "I meant to say." MEANT.
Ah, past simple, because the mistake happened in the past and my intention was in the past.
You got it. You are fixing a past action. Let us practice this. Imagine you are texting a friend to invite them to dinner, but instead of typing, "Do you want to grab food?" you accidentally type, "You must grab food." It sounds like a harsh command. How do you fix it?
I look at the screen, I see the mistake, I do not panic, I just type, oops, typo. I meant to say, do you want to grab food?
Perfect. You erased the bad line and drew a new one. It takes 2 seconds and the other person completely understands. I want everyone listening right now to pause for a second. Think of the last mistake you made in a text message. Picture the screen in your mind. Now, I want you to say our new phrase out loud. Say it with a smile on your face. "Oops, typo. I meant to say." Feel how much relief that brings. You are in control of the conversation again.
I can actually feel the relief just saying it. But Jessica, what if the mistake is a little bigger? What if I use a phrase that is just completely confusing and I realize it later? I can't just say it was a typo because it was a whole sentence that made no sense.
That's when we use our second phrase. This one is my absolute favorite because it's vulnerable, it's honest, and it builds an amazing connection with the person you're chatting with. The phrase is, "Did that make sense? I'm still getting the hang of English."
Did that make sense? I'm still getting the hang of English. Wait, getting the hang of, like hanging a picture on a wall? I'm confused by that part.
I know, English idioms can be very strange. Getting the hang of something means that you are in the process of learning how to do it and you are slowly becoming better at it. You can get the hang of driving a car, you can get the hang of a new video game, and you can get the hang of a language.
Ah, I understand now. So it means I'm practicing and I'm starting to understand it, but I'm not perfect yet. I notice you're using the ing form, getting the hang of.
Yes, present continuous, because your learning is an ongoing journey. You didn't finish learning yesterday, and you won't finish tomorrow. You are currently in the process of growing. And Dave, saying this to someone is incredibly powerful.
Why is it so powerful? Doesn't it just show them that my English is bad?
No, not at all. Think about the heart for a second. When you are vulnerable with someone, when you admit that you are trying your best but you are still learning, it actually makes people like you more. It shows them that you trust them enough to be honest. It's a gift of friendship.
That is a very beautiful way to look at it. A gift of friendship. I remember a time when a colleague from Spain was trying to explain a complex project to me. He paused and said, "I'm still learning how to express this in English. Please be patient with me." And you know what? I respected him so much in that moment. I did not think he was stupid. I thought he was brave.
Exactly. It takes courage to learn a language and communicate with the world. When you say, "Did that make sense? I'm still getting the hang of English," the native speaker will almost always smile at their screen. They will reply and say, "Yes, it made perfect sense." Or they will say, "Oh, I think I know what you mean." They will step in and help you. You are inviting them to be your partner in the conversation instead of fighting the language all by yourself.
Wow, so I am turning a moment of embarrassment into a moment of connection. I am definitely going to use that one. But Jessica, I have a question about my boss, the story I told at the beginning. I cannot really say, "oops, typo" to my boss, right? That feels a little too casual for a professional environment.
You are completely right, Dave. Context is everything. When you're talking to a boss, a client, or someone you do not know very well, you need a phrase that is slightly more polite, but still keeps the situation calm and light. That brings us to our third phrase. This one is a lifesaver in the professional world.
I have my pen righty. I need this for Monday morning.
The phrase is, "Please excuse that last message. Autocorrect hates me today."
Please excuse that last message. Autocorrect hates me today. Oh, I love that. I'm blaming the robot. I'm blaming the technology.
Yes, you are shifting the blame playfully to your phone. And the best part is, autocorrect really does ruin native speakers' messages all the time. Our phones are constantly changing our words to things we never intended to say. So when you blame autocorrect, the other person instantly relates to you. They have experienced the exact same frustration.
That is so true. I have a friend who always types the word definitely, and his phone always changes it to defiantly. So instead of saying, "I will definitely be at the meeting," his message says, "I will defiantly be at the meeting." It sounds like he wants to fight the boss.
That is a perfect example. And if he realizes it, he can just send a quick follow-up. "Please excuse that last message. Autocorrect hates me today." It fixes the tension immediately. It's professional because you start with "please excuse that last message," but it's human and slightly humorous at the end.
This is such a powerful toolkit, Jessica. If you're listening to us right now and you find these phrases helpful, if this sketch metaphor is changing how you feel about your English, please take 1 second to click the subscribe button. We share these real-world communication secrets every single week on Chat English. When you subscribe, you join a community of learners who are mastering the English you actually use in daily life, not just textbook grammar. We would love to have you with us.
We really would. We read the comments and we love seeing how everyone is progressing. Okay, Dave, we have our three phrases. We have our casual fix, our vulnerable fix, and our professional fix. But I know you have another worry about this. I can see it on your face.
You know me too well, Jessica. Yes, I have a big objection. These phrases are great if I see the mistake immediately. If I send the text, read it 2 seconds later, and send the fix. But what if I put my phone in my pocket? What if I go make a cup of coffee, come back 15 minutes later, look at the chat, and realize I sent a rude or confusing message? And the worst part, the blue check marks are there. They read it 10 minutes ago. Is it too late? Should I just use the ghosting method then?
That is a brilliant question. The delayed panic. It feels so much worse because you know the bad message has been sitting in their brain for 10 minutes. But Dave, my answer is very simple. 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, Even an hour later is always better than never.
Really? Even an hour later? Won't it just remind them of the mistake? If the conversation moved on, shouldn't I just let it stay in the past?
Think about the connection again. If you realize you sounded harsh and you reach out an hour later to say, "Oops, I just reread my message, typo, I meant to say this," what does that tell the other person? It tells them that you care about their feelings. It shows that you value the relationship enough to correct yourself, even after time has passed.
Oh, I see. It proves that I was thinking about them. It shows respect. If I just ignore it, they might think I'm a rude person. But if I fix it later, they know I'm a caring person who just made a small language mistake.
Exactly. You are taking responsibility for the communication, and people respect that so much. You do not have to apologize for your English. You just have to clarify your intention. Your intention is to be a good friend, a good colleague, a good communicator. The words are just tools. Sometimes we pick up the wrong tool. We just put it down, pick up the right one, and keep building the friendship.
That is incredibly motivating. I feel like a heavy weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I don't need to be afraid of my keyboard anymore. Let me see if I can summarize everything we learned today, because this is so valuable.
Please do. What are your big takeaways?
Okay, so first, when I make a mistake in a chat, I need to remember that the chat bubble is a quick sketch, not a museum painting. I haven't ruined anything, I just need to use my eraser. Second, I must never write a 3-paragraph apology explaining my bad English, because it makes the other person do emotional work. Third, if I'm chatting with a friend, I can just say, "Oops, typo, I meant to say." Fourth, if I want to show vulnerability and build trust, I can use the present continuous and say, "Did that make sense? I'm still getting the hang of English." And finally, if I'm talking to my boss or in a professional setting, I can blame the technology and say, "Please excuse that last message, autocorrect hates me today."
That is a perfect summary, Dave. You have the exact tools you need. And remember, even if time has passed, sending that quick fix shows you care. It is never too late to clarify your heart.
I love that. Clarify your heart, not just your grammar. I'm going to write that down. This conversation has completely changed how I look at messaging. I think I'm actually excited to go back to my phone now. I'm not afraid of making a mistake because now I know exactly how to handle it.
That is the best outcome I could hope for. You are communicating, you're connecting, and you are strong. You do not need to be perfect to be a wonderful friend or a great colleague. You just need to keep trying.
Yes, we are going to keep trying together. And we want to hear from all of you listening. We have a question for you to answer in the comments below. We want to know, what is the funniest or most embarrassing texting mistake you have ever made in English? Did you send the wrong word to your boss? Did you invite a friend to do something strange by accident? Tell us your story in the comments. We want to laugh and celebrate with you because mistakes mean you are trying.
Yes, please share your stories. Or, if you want, tell us one small chat victory you had this week. Did you use a new word successfully? Did you understand a joke from a native speaker? Let us know. We read every single comment, and your stories bring us so much joy.
Thank you all so much for spending your time with us today. If you learned something new, please hit that like button. It's a small click for you, but it helps our channel grow so we can reach more English learners around the world.
We have one final challenge for you this week. The next time you make a mistake in a chat, do not panic. Do not write a long apology. Take a deep breath, use one of our 3 recovery phrases, laugh it off, and keep the conversation going. You've got this.
You absolutely have got this.
Keep practicing, keep smiling, and remember, you are getting stronger every day. See you next time.